This is the TRU Leader Podcast. Today we talk about the power of a mastermind, of a community of leaders that are focused on a vision for a transformative breakthrough year. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the TRU Leader Podcast. I'm Dr. Tracy Christofferson.
And I'm Michelle Trosett.
We are life and business besties, leadership coaches and mentors, and polarity intelligence experts. We're the authors of Polarity Intelligence, The Missing Logic in Leadership, and co-founders of Missing Logic.
We are here to help high-achieving leaders break through leadership norms that cause them suffering at work and home. If you're looking to elevate your leadership, increasing your productivity, effectiveness, and impact, and manage your health and well-being, spend quality time with those you love, and live your best life, then you are in the right place.
Our goal in this podcast is to equip you with new ways of thinking and practical and tactical strategies for succeeding at work and thriving in life. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of personal and professional development so you can reach your full leadership potential, create a life you love, and be what we are calling a thriving, resilient, and unstoppable or true leader.
If you are ready to learn and laugh a little, let's get started.
Welcome.
She's such a stinker.
She tells me that all the time. Welcome, everybody, to the TRU Leader Podcast. Just trying to change things up a little bit. We say the same thing over and over. I am Tracy.
And I'm Michelle.
Yeah. And we're just happy to be here. Can't you tell? Just feeling a little feisty, just trying to, I don't know.
We're thrilled.
Say something
here.
different.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we say the same thing over and over.
Maybe we should do it in Pig Latin. Are you learning Pig Latin?
I didn't learn Pig Latin. I don't know. But my grandson's learning Latin. So, talk about picking a language.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, Latin. But it's the foundation of every language. So, I guess if you learn that, you can do anything.
I'm sure there'll be a benefit.
Go, Ben. Go, Ben. Well, today we're talking about the value of community and connection around leaders that have vision and the power in that.
Oh, one of our favorite topics.
Yeah. There is such power in being connected to others that, that you share something with like that, right?
Yeah, very much so. It's life-changing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. And so we're going to just share with you today all about that.
We are.
This is what it is all about today, folks. So get ready. Hang on. Here we go. We're going to start out, I think, with just some distinctions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it can get, can be kind of confusing sometimes. As we were writing the script, I kept saying, I'm not quite sure I get this. So hopefully we've clarified it for you. You'll find out. Well, you can tell us later if this was totally confusing or if you got it. All right. So we're going to start out talking about what it means to be visionary, because we're talking today about having a vision, leaders that have vision and being visionary. And they're kind of a couple different things. So they're different levels of the same thing, I think, right? And that's what we want to talk about to start with. So being visionary, that's really about a bigger, broader impact, right? That's an ability to think out of the box, to really see beyond what is into a future that maybe others can't see, with new ideas, huge paradigm shifts, right? Like just a big change agent, bringing on, having a vision for something that other people can't even maybe comprehend at the time. Yeah, blow your mind kind of thing. Like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, like really out of the box thinkers that could really see something nobody else could see. Like we had that. We worked with Bonnie Wisorek, was a visionary. Like she could see the electronic health record before anybody even knew it could exist, right? And she knew exactly what it was going to look like and how it had to operate. Now there's having a vision, right? Also. So having a vision is more kind of at the personal level, right? So you take it down a level, right? To having a vision for a future, what success might look like for you, kind of, it's that goal-oriented, future-oriented, inspirational, right? It's that kind of like having that foresight of where you want to go and how you want things to be for you. in your life going forward, right? So kind of having that vision, how you're going to adapt, how you're going to evolve, where life is going to take you, right? Most people say, okay, what's your vision for yourself 5 to 10 years from now, right? So it's kind of like being able to really grasp that.
See it, feel it.
See it, know it's going to happen, right? That kind of thing. So being visionary often has a more far-reaching impact, right? You're talking bigger global scale, like, influencing society, influencing like a field, an industry, right? Whatever. So it's bigger, broader, worldly kind of a thing. Having a vision really is more about your personal direction, goals, right? Where you're headed as an individual. It can have an impact still on others and often does, right? But it's really kind of operating on that more personal level of impact, I think. And so today we want to talk about a community of leaders with a vision for how differently leaders can lead. And they are actually role modeling this themselves, right? And supporting each other. And we want to just talk about the power of that because we've been able to experience that with them. And it's really been quite something. So we want to share that with you.
Yeah, Tracy, it reminds me of the quote by Margaret Mead. It's one of our favorite quotes. Never doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. And that's such a powerful quote. I think it speaks to the power of leaders with vision coming together and what can happen as a result of that. And I know we feel really blessed that we've experienced that in different ways already. And I think it's also what has put that seed in us to like experience it again and again in different ways at Missing Logic. So just some of the examples of how we've experienced it is through our work with the CPM Resource Center, which started out with a small group, grew into a big consortium. A lot of transformational changes happened. And there's been other groups that we've experienced it with as well. And so now at Missing Logic, we have the TRU Leader community. And then also our Breakthrough Year Mastermind that we're going to talk about, which is really vision on steroids with a group of leaders.
Yeah, they're a great group of leaders. Yeah, there's just been a lot of ways, I think, that we've experienced the power of coming together, having a vision for a different way of being, a different way of leading, a different cultures, creating different cultures and different opportunities for people. And so I think, it's very inspiring and it makes you want to have it again. It makes you want to experience it again and again and again and again.
It's so true.
Yeah. So we're really all about bringing people together so they can have that experience, right?
Yeah. And we have talked a lot about vision in our podcast before. We have a couple of episodes, episode 116. And then that was so popular, we actually did an encore of the same episode, but add a little bit more context to it in episode 222. So if you want to just get a basic on vision and why it's so important in your professional and personal life, you can take a listen to those podcast episodes. And so we bring together leaders in our TRU Leader Mentorship program so that they can do their own vision. Then they also can learn together, do some crowdsourcing of ideas and action steps to live their thriving, resilient, unstoppable lives. And then our Breakthrough Year Mastermind that I mentioned that takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah. And so let's just talk again, another distinction kind of about masterminds, right? Because I think coming together collectively with people and being in a mastermind are a couple of different things. And so masterminds are really about bringing a group coming together. It's usually a smaller group. And this really is about people that meet routinely. They are crowdsourcing, really, ideas. They're supporting each other. You're tapping in. Most people come, they have different levels of expertise, different experiences that you're tapping into. You're supporting each other. You're driving. You're pushing each other, right, to be better, to be more. And you're tapping into the knowledge of the individuals in the group. And, you may have different goals, different things that you're striving towards, but usually there's a commonality amongst you, like you're all leaders or, right, those kinds of things. So it really is kind of a group that comes together with a specific intention to grow and evolve, to all be more and to have a bigger better impact and to achieve that vision, whatever that vision is for yourself. And so we're going to talk today about our community of vision-driven leaders and the mastermind that we have created with them. And these are leaders with a very clear vision for what it is to lead today, to what is essential to be a true leader and to step into that future self themselves, right, as we move along, and how they've supported each other. And we're just really grateful for all of you. We want to kind of take you on an inside trip on what we're doing with them and the power of that, so that you can kind of get a sense of what's possible for you.
Yeah. So here we go. And I'll tell you before we go there, one of the things we want to point out is oftentimes what gets in our way from moving forward with others in a powerful way like this is just our leadership norms that we have maybe always believed. And leaders oftentimes think they have to do it alone. They have to go it alone. And so true leaders don't believe that. So some of the leadership norms that keep leaders where they're at is it's just better if I do it myself. It's lonely at the top. Not knowing is a sign of weakness. So maybe I don't even want to get involved with another group. Or if they are doing it, if they're doing it, then I have to do it. So we also want you to think about your own leadership norms as you listen to this episode as well.
Yeah. And these are norms that have been indoctrinated with us. They're unconscious. We've said this numerous times, but I think it's always helpful to say it again, because this runs unconsciously in us. These are not things that we always are aware that we believe or that are driving our behaviors. And when you think about some of these that you just mentioned, Michelle, these are norms that will have you turn away from people.
Right.
Keep you from engaging with others, keep you from tapping into a collective, because it can stimulate fears in you, concerns about how you're going to be judged as a leader, right? You're not a good enough leader. If I need the help of others, then I can't do it on my own, right? You can tell yourself a whole bunch of stories, and all of this just keeps you from the benefit of really learning from other people and tapping into that collective wisdom, that collective knowledge. And, we all need a lift up now and then. We all need a hand up, right? And that's what leadership is. Leadership is about helping each other.
It is.
I mean, really, and helping those that you serve, but also being helped by your peers. And true leaders do that with each other, right? So that's what we want to talk about. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of what we've been hearing and seeing and experiencing with this community of leaders with a vision. And this is just immensely valuable. So we're going to keep saying that. In case you don't get it, it's immensely valuable. And really just specifically in fostering innovation and driving progress and shaping the future. Like Michelle said in the quote, right? It's a small group that has always done it, right? And those are the ones. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of these key aspects of what the value really is when you come together as a group of vision-driven leaders. And the first is inspiration and creativity. So this is really about inspiring each other. And it's about, kind of sparking the next idea and stimulating each other to think outside the box and come up with creative solutions. It's about, kind of shared enthusiasm for the future and the possibilities that exist in that future that you can create individually and collectively as you move forward. And it's really just beyond what's conventional, beyond today, right, to a bigger, brighter future. And just really individually and collectively, and supporting each other on that, right? So it's just that creativity, eliminating the boundaries and just stepping into everything that's possible.
Yeah. So what's so powerful about having a group like this is that you share each other's visions and goals. You know where each other's going and you support each other. And so much fun and innovation can come out of this experience as well. So one example to share is that one of the members had planned to retire, and she had set a date out there. At first, she wasn't quite sure what that date was going to be. So every week we would kind of check in with each other, and pretty soon one of the other members kept sliding this little Post-it note up on the monitor saying, "Do you have the date yet? Do you have the date yet?" And we would laugh every time about, here comes that Post-it note.
Yeah.
And it was funny to watch the group's dynamics related to this. but also how that fun and creativity really did have an impact on moving forward with that vision and declaring a retirement date and then celebrating that when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was kind of like not letting it go. Like we weren't going to let her just kind of float. It was like, no, we need to draw a line in the sand, because once you draw a line in the sand, it becomes real, right? And we knew in order for her to get there, we had to have it. But that was totally spontaneous on one of the members of the group. Yep.
A lot, very creative and a lot of fun, and it kind of became a theme there for a while.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, right? And then we did the countdown after that for when it actually happened, right?
Yeah.
Now, another high value in this is collaboration and synergy. So when, these kinds of individuals come together that are vision-driven, right, with that, they have this forward-thinking mindset because they have a vision. So they're always thinking forward, and they're thinking collaboratively, and they know that they can achieve more together than they can individually. So it's all about that collaborative support, that synergy. There's a lot of diverse perspectives in the group, which is excellent, right? Because it really helps you think differently. And we all bring unique insights and ideas, and sometimes you just get to these kind of groundbreaking innovations, right, that can happen as a result of it. Things that we didn't think about individually come out collectively.
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
Yeah. So an example of that is having the experience of seeing yourself doing great things, but you can't imagine it yet because you just are not comfortable with maybe.
You don't think it's going to be real.
You just don't think it's really going to be real. And one of our members of our Breakthrough Year Mastermind really wanted to have an impact globally with what her field of expertise was. And yet with everything going on with the pandemic and a lot of different issues, she just couldn't imagine it, but everyone else saw it. And with every step of the way, kind of encouraged her, and she started to step out and travel and do more travel, more presentation. Well, kind of the upshot of the story is this person that didn't even see herself traveling that much has been all over the world now, it seems like multiple times.
Right. And the opportunities have come to her. She didn't seek them out. They came to her. Come to Germany. Come here. Come there. Speak for us or speak at our conference. And she didn't even want to leave the house, let alone now she's a global traveler and speaker and well known.
And the group's so proud of her.
Yeah.
But it came from this spirit of everyone being aware of it. And it's almost like you just watched like a flower blossom over time because of the group. Yeah.
Well, I think what happens in these groups is we hold the space for it to happen. So although somebody wants it, they're not quite there and they're thinking that it's actually going to happen. We hold the space because we believe in them. We know it will happen, right? So we hold that space for them and that possibility.
Yes.
And we don't let them step away from it, right? We help them keep taking the steps, and that's what they did. They just helped her one step at a time, one trip at a time, one change in her life at a time, opened up so many doors. Every time she opened up new doors, and there you are, now global traveler, well-known, highly regarded leader, right? Now, another is support and resilience. So this is really about a community of vision-driven leaders that it's emotional and intellectual support for each other, right? Helping members navigate these challenges like we were just talking about, right? Navigate setbacks. It's a collective resilience that we all have that fosters that resilience in us as individuals. It creates that environment where we feel safe to take risks. We're willing to step out because we know, we've got a group that's standing behind us, holding us up. They're going to be there for us. They're going to support us. They're going to move us forward. And so it really is that support that kind of develops that resilience in us individually, and then collectively we're very resilient as well.
Right. And, we've just have been so blessed to witness the support and them challenge each other in action. Like Tracy said, we hold the space, but then magic happens way beyond that. And they naturally find each other and who has strengths that can help support each other. And we have seen members support each other, complete dissertation projects. We've seen them help each other with publications and national and international presentations. And the other thing that's really cool is they open up doors for each other. So as a professional, there's so much power in networking and connecting people. And how the stars align with who knows who and who can open up a door for someone else. We've seen that happen multiple times in the group. And it's just like, wow. It's so much fun. And they share resources with each other.
Oh, yeah.
It just goes to show you too, what you know. You don't always know everything that you can, but someone else might know something that can really help you out. So they share resources with each other, and they connect with each other all the time now outside of the group and support each other.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And then we also have different ways, different tools in which they can easily access each other to keep everyone engaged and resilient as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so another value is mentorship and growth. And I think, this, again, when you have vision-driven leaders, this is really all about how to mentor each other. And while we are mentors in the group, they are mentoring each other based on their own expertise, their own perspectives, the wisdom that they have. It's that sharing of that wisdom and the experiences that accelerates everybody's growth, right? And so it's this dynamic that encourages vulnerability and growth and development in all different ways, personally and professional leadership skills. It's a lot of different ways.
Yeah. For example, we have one of the members that's going to mentor all of us this week.
Yeah.
So we work with our members on developing and maintaining their own dynamic balance blueprints. And sometimes we do a blueprint together. And recently we did one on intent and impact. And there was a great insights from each other on that particular polarity. And they also are always monitoring their own blueprints. So one of the members loves AI. She's really getting involved with AI on a national level. And so she figured out how to leverage AI to prioritize action steps on her dynamic balance blueprints, because there's power when you find action steps that can benefit more than one polarity or more than one pole. You can achieve the outcome and sustain the outcome much faster. So she figured out how to leverage AI to do this. So now she's mentoring the group on that process.
Yeah, yeah. So, when you have one action step that shows up in more than one place, that's the priority action step, because you're going to get bigger bang for your buck. And so she's figured out how to use AI to do that for her. So it's really pretty cool. Pretty cool. Can't wait to learn from her about that. Another is the amplified impact. So again, in a community like this is about mobilizing resources, influencing, public opinion, large scale change. So again, it's that combined connection with each other, expertise, wisdom that we're tapping into that really can transform the outcomes for everybody.
Yeah. So I just shared that one of the blueprints we did together as a group was intent and impact. And then we also looked at it through a group lens, through a mastermind lens. How can we be intentional and make the most impact as a group and take collective action together as well? So that's one way that we can amplify impact, is by doing that together.
Mm-hmm. And then shaping, future shaping and influencing. Again, these are all leaders out in the world having an impact in their individual environments, but also then collectively really, challenging, positioning ourselves to have a bigger influence, to address bigger challenges like, having healthy work cultures, right? AI implementations and integrations and all these different things that are happening on a bigger, broader scale outside of our group, and how the work that we're doing inside the group can have that bigger influence outside the group, right? So, and kind of just shaping the future and aligning our desires and our abilities with how we see the future shaping up.
Right. And one of the core aspects of our work is shaping the future of starting a movement of polarity intelligent leaders. And recently, Tracy and I had a Polarity Intelligence Foundations for Leaders program. And because of the journey that our mastermind has been on, what was so cool is they were able to participate and help us mentor other leaders. So that's the other thing that can happen. That's shaping more people.
Yeah, to be polarity intelligent, right?
Yeah.
Getting a movement started.
A movement.
So really, in essence, having this, community, this mastermind of vision-driven leaders really is all about, right, innovation, progress, influence, societal transformation. It's really about being bold and being out there and supporting each other as we move along.
And
very strong.
It's really a great experience. It really is. And so when it comes to polarities and the impact that this concept can have on polarities, is what we've learned is that having a community of vision-driven leaders creates a safe place to actually apply polarity intelligence. It's a place to practice that polarity mindset, to practice having healthy relationships, engaging in meaningful dialogue together. And some of the common polarities that our community has leveraged over the years is really individual and team, because they're part of a community. So how can I bring my best as a member, but also recognize I am part of this mastermind, this bigger team. So really being reflective, and have done some polarity mapping and blueprints on that. A big one is current reality and future desired state. Again, we're talking about vision. So we have to always be grounded in our current reality, but always moving towards that desired future. And so each person does this individually, but we also do it as a mastermind as well. Like, where's the next place we want to go going forward as well. And then another big one is empowerment and accountability, because we encourage and create a space for empowerment for everyone to thrive and achieve their breakthrough year. But we also recognize we have to hold each other accountable. So one of the ways that we do that is we hold accountability calls 3 times a month, and we kind of keep tabs on each other and help support each other as we achieve our vision.
Yeah. And then there's a few others. So a couple of them have been pretty instrumental in shaping and shifting individual thinking and behaviors. One is the being and doing. And we are all leaders, so we're all doers. And we're high achievers, right? So we can really get over focused on doing. And one of the things that we have found to be a true leader, right? You have to be it before you do it. And so this is really about, what are the practices that help me to be, first, the leader that I want to be, one, a true leader, but also whatever characteristics I need to embody as the leader that I need to be to achieve my vision. Then I need to have ways and actions that I can take that will allow me to really be that, and to, be in that space where I can really develop myself and grow and evolve, and then also have actions that help me to do the things that I'll need to do to achieve that vision that I want to have. So it's this balance of being and doing on an ongoing basis, and learning different techniques and strategies for being while we're doing the things that we need to do, right? And then another is the masculine and feminine energy. And this is another big aha that we worked on. We worked on this polarity with everybody as well. And, as leaders, as, vision-driven leaders and highly, active and high achievers, high performers. Again, a lot of masculine energy. But how do we leverage both feminine energy and masculine energy? And, feminine energy can really be the creative side of us, the part that does create the vision, right? That is inspired to take the action. And so how do I tap into those elements within myself as I am driving things and moving things forward with that masculine energy and taking the action? So the being and doing and the feminine and masculine really align well with each other. And it does make a big difference. I know I tapped into this when I was doing my dissertation, because I kept saying I can't just work on the dissertation and be driving, right, that part of it. I have to have that. I have to be able to step into the creative side of myself, right? And so it was this constant dance between my feminine and my masculine energy, and really kind of trying to marry the two to move through that process itself. So that was one that I was working personally as a part of the mastermind as well. And then, of course, candor and diplomacy. And this is just, again, keeps coming up at the individual level, but it's something also when you're a part of a mastermind, you have to also be able to leverage this polarity well, to be candid with individuals, but also be diplomatic, right? Because we're all trying to help each other grow and evolve, and we're all trying to move each other, push each other a little bit more than we might push ourselves. So again, it's a big growth and development piece. And we're finding in the work environments that we're in, especially these days, the need for candor and diplomacy is critical, and the ability to leverage that is essential.
It is. Yes. So some of the things that we practice with each other and with this group as well is we do establish breakthrough year goals. So when you go through the TRU program, goal setting is part of personal alignment. What are my goals? But breakthrough year goals is really stretching it, right? It's like, really, if I'm going to have the best year ever in my breakthrough year, what are those goals? So we go through that process with each of the members, and then they update them quarterly as well. And then Tracy and I do 2-on-1 coaching with them as we help look at the progress that they're making on their goals. We also have retreat time and virtual learning time together as well, so that we really can go deep on different subjects and topics, spend time together, again, build community. I can't tell you how many times, even in these hectic times when we've gotten together face to face, we usually go to a really nice place. One of them will say, you cannot even put a value on what it's like to be together, to take this time to be together as a group. So that retreat time and even coming together virtually for a day is really valuable in building that community. And then holding each other accountable, like I said earlier, that's a key aspect of it. And having check-in calls. And it's holding each other accountable, but there's also, again, that empowering part of that to make sure that we're giving everyone the support that they need and giving them that space to continually grow in their vision as well. And then continuous learning. And we've done this in a lot of different ways. One way that's been really powerful is doing book reviews together, or walking through a leadership book together. And Tracy and I always call it our just-in-time education, because it's been amazing how we'll find an author or a source that just kind of meets the group right where they're at the time. And so that's another way that we really, it's a practice that we've brought to the Mastermind group. And then also bringing other experts in to expand, thinking and skills as well, because, Tracy and I, we got a lot going on for us. We don't know everything.
Oh, no, I know. So disappointing, isn't it, that we don't know it all? But hey, that's a leadership norm we've busted through. We don't have to know it all.
No, we don't. But we always have amazing guests come in and help also expand the thinking of this group and the vision of the group as well.
Yeah. And most of these individuals we've been exposed to, we've been, leveraging some of their techniques, the information that they've shared, and it's been valuable for us. So then we share it with our breakthrough year as well. And it's a phenomenal experience to be a part of this group. And one of the things that we've been hearing over and over from leaders, even over the last, I think since the pandemic especially, right, is this longing to be connected to other leaders, to know that you're not alone, to have a group that will support you. And many are more comfortable with that connection outside of their organization. They want to be with people that maybe don't know them in their work environment, but know them, right? That they can get to know them and can support them. And so it's just been an ongoing message that we've been receiving. So this year, we're going to do something a little bit different, and we are going to open up the Breakthrough Year Mastermind to individuals outside the TRU Leader Mentorship Program, because typically you have had to go through the TRU program before you can join our Breakthrough Year Mastermind. But it has just been so valuable. It's been so impactful and so, had helped people make such significant changes in their lives that we just really feel like we are being called to open this up. And so we're going to put a link in the show notes. Mm-hmm. It will be an application process. All right. It's a mastermind group. So you want to make sure that we've got a really good diverse mix of individuals that can, all lift each other up and support each other. We want to give as many people the opportunity, but we also want to make sure that we are holding the space for that growth and evolution and that mastermind power to come through. So you can click the link, learn more, and if you're feeling called to, apply. And we'd be happy to welcome you in and have you experience the power of this yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
And we have limited
wonderful
seats. So don't hesitate if you're at all interested. It's always better to put your application in and then we can figure that out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Great point. Yeah. Great point. If you're hearing this and think, ooh, don't put it off because the seats are limited. So I think that's a wrap, Tracy.
I think so. All done. All done for today. We'll be back.
Just for today.
Just for today. Just for today.
So thank you. Thank you for being with us again for another episode of the TRU Leader Podcast. We really find joy in just sharing what we're learning with all of you, our listeners out there. And we love it when you write a review for us. So please do that on Apple Podcasts. And also, if you want to see us in action, follow us on our YouTube channel, the Missing Logic YouTube channel. You can drop us a note there too.
Yeah. Or
Watch
anywhere.
us in the studio, or anywhere. Anywhere.
We're always keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, and just a reminder to subscribe. That way you will not miss an episode. And so that's really important as well. So I think that's it. And we look forward to being with you next time. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy.
Imagine standing at a crossroads where one path is paved with ongoing stress, uncertainty, and the never-ending run on a hamster wheel. And the other path leads to uncharted territories of success, fulfillment, and transformation. Which path would you choose? Our free webinar, From Stress to Success, the formula for leaders to excel professionally and personally, is a bright light illuminating the path for those ready to transform their relationship with stress and step into a realm of professional and personal excellence they've only dreamed of. In a world that often feels like the hamster wheel is spinning faster each day, finding your way off the hamster wheel can seem daunting. Stress, once a silent adversary, has become a loud companion. But what if we told you that the very challenges and pressures you face are not obstacles, but opportunities? Opportunities to grow, lead, and inspire. So what awaits you in this webinar? Well, you're going to learn to see stress not as an enemy, but as a catalyst for growth and leadership. You're going to discover the formula that has helped leaders trade their stress for a new superpower. And you're going to recognize you're not alone, but one in a group of many like-minded leaders on the same journey towards leadership success and personal fulfillment. So why should you attend? Because you're not meant to merely survive, you're designed to thrive. This webinar is for those who feel the stirring of potential within them, but need the roadmap to navigate from where they are to where they want to be. Whether you're an emerging leader, a seasoned professional, or someone passionate about personal and professional growth, this webinar is your first step towards a life where stress fuels your success, not hampers it. So click the link in the show notes and reserve your seat today.